L'espoir est un blé bien trop vite consommé. À sauter les repas, je suis son habitué. I'm kidding. I'm not actually French. I do speak French, but that's just because I am multi-talented. I don't. Hey, are you trying to be yourself, but struggling to do so? Maybe from embarrassment? Maybe you think people will criticize you and judge you. Well, you're absolutely right. They will. Accept that, first of all. But how can you move forward? Through my own life, I've had problems being myself in front of family, in front of different friend groups, maybe being myself with my girlfriend and then me myself when I'm with my girlfriend and my friends. And then it felt like there was no real self. It was a battle of different consciousness, all trying to come to light, all taking turns. One time I'd be this way, one time I'd be a certain other way. Which one was the real one? Which is the real me? Which is the fake me? I don't know. Is there even such a thing? Are all those different people, or are they all just the one that makes you you? I don't think this matters too much. The point is that there's a certain way that you are which you would like to be in front of everybody else, but that you struggle to do so. Perhaps in front of a friend group that you have, you feel yourself more charming, you feel yourself more charismatic, you like the way that you talk with them, you like the way that your charm comes across, you like the way that you think and that you act. You are full of love, full of energy, you are full of everything. And then another time comes along, maybe you are with your family, and as you are with your family, you become more dull, repetitive, mechanic and robotic. Well, I understand that all too well. After all, I sometimes still struggle with it. However, I do have an answer that I've been working on and practicing, which has been working so far. So that's what I'm going to share with you now. There is the GOAT of all books, in my opinion, The Way of the Superior Man, which argues that there is something in your essence that you are not proud of expressing. Maybe, let's say that you are a man. Maybe your masculinity is not something that you were in good terms with, and so it brings shame to you. You look at a girl in the eyes and you look away because you're like, oh, I shouldn't be looking at her. And you don't feel like you can be yourself, that you can look at her full of love, tenderly, and give her affection just with your gaze alone. Or perhaps you're a woman, a feminine woman. You can be a masculine woman and a feminine man, by the way, but I'm just saying for the most part. Maybe you are a feminine woman, but you're in certain environments where people may already expect you to be more masculine, or they may expect you to already be a certain way, and it stops you from being the freedom of femininity that you are. It stops you from being the boundless ocean, the infinite galaxy, the, universe. And because of this, you become a masculine girl, which in truth you don't want to be. You laugh, you pretend it's okay. It's not who you are. It's not what you want to do. Maybe the same happens to men. Maybe you downplay yourself. Maybe you pretend like, oh yeah, I'm a loser, and then you laugh it off, and then you become the joke of the group. But it's not what you really want. Why would you want to be laughed at? Why would you want to be the one they make jokes about? Maybe you make the jokes yourself, but it's not what you want to do. So as the practice is to become more at terms with yourself, how do you avoid not being at terms with yourself? Well, usually what happens is you have emotions that surge upon you. You have moments in which you become nervous. You become like, oh damn, I feel pressure, the pressure of the moment. And because of this, you make a decision to act, to give an answer right away. And it's something that you don't necessarily truly believe it's the quickest thing that you could think of. Maybe the safest thing. The safest thing for you at the moment. Well, slow that down. Maybe if there's a situation in which there's a lot of stress, a lot of tension, take a step back. God, breathe so deep that you feel like you're going to pop like a balloon. And then state your statement, give your answer. But take some time to yourself. Don't feel no nerve, no urge to be so adamant and eager in your reply. Take your time, take your pace, and think about what you really want to say. If you're a man, for example, maybe you have a problem, and maybe you become super defensive right away. But you don't want to be defensive. You want to say things as they are. So you take a deep breath. Look, I understand what you're trying to say, but it was not me that did that. However, I have an idea of who it might have been, but that's not important. Let's look at a way of going forward. Right, a much better answer than, it wasn't me, why are you accusing me? Come on, man. Just digging a deeper grave. Or maybe you're a lady and someone's making a joke, forcing you to be promiscuous. You don't want to be promiscuous. Instead of saying, yeah, oh god, I'm about to give the worst example. I don't even know what I'm going to say. Let's say, yeah, well, I do have big tits, so it's like, no. Take a step back, breathe in, explore what the emotions are, because men and women are very different. For women, you should explore what the emotions and the feelings that you have are, and then talk according to those feelings. Don't say something to satisfy the other person. Say something that feels right for you. A reminder, for men and for women, of masculine and feminine essence, this will be different. But I have more and more female audience, so because I understand the nature of women to a certain extent, I'm including this also. The second thing that has helped me to become more of myself in an easier manner is to realize that people are going to judge me. People are not used to change. They don't like change. They like it. They like something new. But they don't like change in something that they've built an image around. When it's a person that changes, people become somewhat discomforted because they feel like they can't trust the person anymore. When a situation changes, maybe it will excite them. But with a person, it's different because then they become a little more unpredictable. So, know that people won't necessarily react positively to your changes, even if the changes are positive. And if you are being yourself, which in most cases is the best thing to do, right? It's better for yourself to be yourself. Well, they won't react positively. When I got on self-improvement a few years ago, it was still not really spoken about. Not many people knew much about it. My brother finally found out that I was doing things like meditating, journaling, and taking cold showers, and sometimes eating food without any kind of extra condiments, no sauce, no anything, because I was really rigid on that dopamine thing. Well, he looked at me rather the first time that he noticed these things. He was like, "What are you doing?" I felt such an urge to put excuses, because he didn't just say, "Oh, what are you doing?" It was in a very demeaning way, like, "What are you doing?" I wanted to be defensive, and I wanted to be combative as well. And I messed up. I immediately jumped to, I'm doing self-improvement, right? But in my head, and that's fine, that's a good answer, it's decent. But in my head, I was in go mode. I was ready to fight. Instead, I should have been with the intention to love. I'm doing self-improvement. Here's what it's about. You should join me. It's a great thing. It's made me happier since I started it 2 months ago. What ended up happening is that because I was in that combative stance, just like he was, because he's always that way, we ended up obviously in an argument. And, maybe a whole hour went by of debating. You're wasting your life, you're doing this, you're stupid, you don't need to do that. Alright. Sometimes people say things because they love you, but that doesn't mean that what they say is right. So a lot of the times, advice from parents, partners, friends may be wrong. But that being said, still listen to them, because sometimes they may tell you things that you're not seeing in yourself, and their intentions at the end of the day, if they love you, are good. So even if they are wrong sometimes, still listen to them. Anyhow, months go by, we still are combative, we're still not understanding each other, not seeing eye to eye. And little by little, I started fronting myself. I started becoming more me and more open in my heart, right, my chest. I'm not covering up anymore. I'm not combative anymore. He's starting to get used to it. I'm feeling more confident. I feel like I want to tell him everything. I'm like, I don't actually have any hair. I'm bald, right? I feel great. I feel like I want to tell him everything. I want to tell everyone everything. There is nothing that I am hiding. And oh, there's a reflective glare. Let me just get rid of that. Years have gone by, so of course everything has been better. Everything is better now. He's used to it. We even make jokes out of it. The other day, he's in Asia right now. I was with my dad and we were FaceTiming him. And I told him, yeah, I'm getting up at 6:30 a.m. at the moment. And I've just moved countries, you know, I don't have a job or anything. And then he starts laughing because he already knows what's coming. And I tell him, and I'm waking up at this time because no one is telling me to do it, right? We just joke about me being hyper strict on myself and whatever. Same with the cold showers. And because I've proved it, you know, we go to the gym together and I show that I am a bloody maniac. Assuming that people are not going to receive it well, it's going to help you actually take the action to go forward and do it, because you need to just do it. You can't wait until the stars align or whatever. No, people need to get used to it. People need to swallow that hard to swallow pill. People need to realize that you're changing, or that maybe you are becoming more you. And in expressing it, little by little, they will accept you the way that you are. And what if you don't know who you are? What if you have all of these different personalities and you don't know how to act? You need to focus on the intention. Do not people please. Whenever you start an interaction or anything, what you could do, and what I did for a little while, I thought about the personality I liked the most. And then I tried it. Instead of on that one friend group, on every friend group. And then I saw the reactions of people. Usually, you know, decent, you know, people had more fun. They didn't really mention anything, but people had more fun. Maybe they said, damn, you're energetic today. Or maybe if it was another personality, another thing. And then I started trying out different personalities. I tried to be in every way that I was with all different people, with all people. And after I had my share of experience, I determined how I wanted to be. I took something from everything, and I became me, the whole package, capable of being any personality in front of any one person. But it would just all depend on how I feel at the moment, on what the situation calls for. Perhaps my friend is upset, a heartbreak just occurred. Okay, I'm not just gonna be jolly good. Oh, hey guys, how are you doing? No, I need to be more empathetic. I need to, you know, be strong on the report. If I echo his body and his tone and everything, I can help him better because he will listen to me better. I can tell him, yeah man, I understand what you're going through. You know, I had a breakup too that broke my heart. I literally went to the ground in tears. You saw it. However, we can't stay put here. We need to go do something. Move our bodies a little bit. Right? Because when you're depressed from a heartbreak or something, you can't stay at home and do nothing. You need to start pumping the blood, do some sport, maybe work with a team, do something that's gonna bring a little bit of energy and life to you, because otherwise it's just gonna make it worse for you. But if you speak in the manner that calls the situation for, and that you best feel, then that will be your real self. Your real self is not black and white. It's not, I am a happy person, I am a sad person. Hopefully not. It is what the moment calls for, and it is what you feel the most in the moment. Maybe that day you don't feel like being happy. Maybe you feel like being depressed. That doesn't mean you should be depressed. You should also look at the situation and not think, oh, well, I'm feeling depressed, so that means the situation calls for depression. No. You look at the situation, you get away from your body, and you think, okay, this is a depressing situation. I got these things. That's why I'm speaking with a lisp. If you're the situation is depressing, don't battle it or don't affront it with, okay, in that case, I'll let myself go with the tide and I'll be depressed alongside it. No, take responsibility of your situation. God damn it, man. And say, okay, I understand that when people are depressed, they need to move more, they need to be more energetic. I don't want to do it, but it's going to be better for me, so I'll do it. And be in a way the best course for you at all moments. This is a certain way for you to be more yourself, whatever you are like, which I'm sure is very lovely and very awesome. I bet you're very awesome. Alright, man, or woman. That's all that I wanted to talk about today. I know that it's a struggle to feel like you're trapped in a shell on the which you can't be yourself, you are not yourself, and it feels like not just wrong for yourself but for others, like you are a fraud to the world. But you're not. You're trying your best to change, and I commend you for that. Strive to be 1% better every day, and much love.